We're here. We're about to head out. And anything you guys want to know about it, you get in here, we'll let you know. We've been for 12 days, so it's a long trip. We saw the strip. We saw the Fremont experience. We saw it all. We saw the mountains, everything you can think of it. We pretty much saw out here. So, Alex, let's say anything to him. Alex, tell them anything about Las Vegas.
Yeah, Las Vegas was an awesome place. It was really fun to be here. Things are a little expensive here. If you're poor, you probably shouldn't come here. I think. Place to go. You should definitely go to see some like icons here. Maybe stay at a casino hotel. They're pretty awesome. They usually don't serve breakfast, but if you want breakfast, go outside the city. Um, Overall, great town, but really expensive. And people here are different than where you probably live.
Alright, you want to say anything, Aim?
I pretty much agree with Alex. It's a very expensive place, and I heard that Las Vegas used to be cheap a long time ago. Not anymore. You better bring your wallet. That's all I can say. If we actually stayed in two parts of Las Vegas, we stayed in the South Strip where New York is, and we stayed at the Luxor, the pyramid. Got to see that area, and then we also stayed above it in the Northern Strip, which is the old side of it. We stayed at the old plaza where Frank Sinatra stayed, and we got to experience what was that called, Kevin? Fremont.
Yeah, the Fremont
The
experience.
Fremont experience. Two totally different
Oh, yeah.
areas for sure.
Yeah.
So we experienced that. We just stayed like 2 nights and 3 days in each area. And we also experienced Reno for one night. I liked Reno pretty good. It's not as commercialized as Las Vegas. And it's not far from Lake Tahoe. Lake Tahoe is beautiful. It really is, but it was very, very cold. I wouldn't recommend swimming in it, honestly. It's very close to Reno and Carson City. We actually went on the loneliest road in the world. That was the road where it's called Extraterrestrial Highway. And it pretty much is lonely because there wasn't hardly any cars on that road. There's roads out here are just very remote. Hopefully you don't get stranded or anything like that, because that would be pretty bad, because the mountains are different here. They're different here. They look like big ant hills, in my opinion. But they change once you get towards California. That you start seeing a little more greener, not much, and a little more rockier mountains when you go towards California. You're not far from California here in Nevada.
Harper.
If you go west, it's California. You're not far from, we've done this before in the past, you're not far from the dam, the largest dam. What is that called? The
Hoover Dam. Yeah, Hoover Dam.
We've done that before, but that's not far from here, south of here. But we actually stayed in the outskirts half the time of Las Vegas, where it's a little bit cheaper, food's cheaper. We got a hotel with breakfast. Was cheaper than some of the casinos. I mean, if you're going to stay in the casinos, go through the week. But I'll have to admit, everything happens on the weekend, like especially in Fremont. If you will go Fremont, if you want the action, the party, do it on Friday and Saturday night.
Yeah, we're 1,700 miles from home. All right, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But the food is just outrageous in Las Vegas. Now, if you're going to go to a buffet with crab legs, I highly recommend that you go to the Palms. The Palms is a little bit off strip, not much. There's a tunnel you can cross over into the main strip and go. You can either go, I suggest Friday. Go prime rib night, and it was $52 a piece. Okay, and you get all the crab legs you want, you get all the prime rib you want. And they actually had gelato, and that's what Alex liked. Alex and me went. Kevin didn't want to do it. because he don't care much for seafood. But they had other things besides seafood. But Alex really liked the gelato, all you can eat there. So that's where I recommend that you get your buffet, because the Wynn and the one that's in Caesar's Palace, the Botanical Buffet, it's the largest buffet here. It's 25,000 square feet. You're going to be paying a pretty penny. You're going to be paying 75, 80 or more dollars a plate. So we did experience that. I will make a video on that buffet. We actually went to a Golden Corral here outside of Las Vegas. Outside. We stayed mainly in the Henderson area. And it was a really good buffet. It really was. It was reasonably priced. It's the same price as where we live at, but they had different foods. A little bit. It's slightly different, a little bit different foods. And it was really clean, and that's what I suggest. If you don't want the crab legs, the prime rib, all that stuff, just go to a Golden Corral. That's what I suggest, honestly, because they got more foods of that other stuff, basically. I didn't really win that much. 2 machines, I won about $53 on the buffalo. They have different buffaloes. One on Buffalo Gold, and then I think Buffalo Chief, where you get all the free spins. You get the coins, and you collect so many coins, and you get like 20-something free spins. That was a penny machine, but of course, they charge you for all the different lines, so I was really betting 80 cents, not a penny. Because they don't tell you how many lines there is, but you got to pay for all those lines. So I only won like $53 cup top. So I really broke even, honestly, from what I put in versus what I got out. Played the King cards. What's it called? Jacks are better. And I enjoy playing that game, but I just don't win on it. I usually just, whatever I put in is usually, I don't win nothing on it. It's just, I played it so many times, and it's rare to win big. It's just a fun game to play. But I guess that's my overall experience of Nevada. It's a huge state. It was like 485 miles just to go to Reno from here. I mean, it was kind of remote. The mountains are different out here. I forgot to tell you this. It's extremely hot right now.
109.
It got up to 113 degrees. Yeah, there's no humidity, but it's still just like a sauna. It's very, very hot. So, yeah, you need to stay hydrated if you come out here. But would I come back here again? Probably not. It was a one-time experience. I mean, if things could get cheaper, in Las Vegas, I might come back, but I don't think they're going to. I mean, they've ruined Las Vegas as far as jacking the prices up. Because I used to work with somebody come here all the time. They get really cheap flights with Spirit, and really cheap flights, good deals with Spirit, and she'd have a coupon book, and she'd get all these buffets, like pretty reasonable. I even saw on YouTube where buffets used to be $10 here, like through the week. That's over.
Yeah.
I mean, you pretty much got to be, got some money to come here.
One thing is that at the Palms, you didn't have to pay the parking at the
Yeah,
Palms.
you didn't have to pay the parking at Palms.
Everywhere else is $25.
Honestly, of all the hotels we stayed at the Plaza. It's one of the oldest hotels. I guess it was the oldest. I didn't like the room. I did not like the room. The bathroom was small. It was very, very small, and it had a bathtub in it. But it was close to Fremont. It was right across the street. It was a great location. You could see it. It was loud. That was the only good thing about the Plaza. Okay, was the location. Okay, we stayed at the Luxor, the Pyramid, and we did get $50 credit to stay there at the Luxor. And we used that on the Mexican food there, and it took everything. I mean, the food's high. We still had to pay a little bit more for the 3 of us to eat there. And we just got 2 nachos and waters. Basically, it was what, $53, Kevin?
Yeah.
Something like that. So we used up our credit pretty quickly there.
Yeah, it was over $50 at the Luxor.
Yeah.
We stayed at the Luxor.
Yeah, and it was a good location. It was. It was a little bit nicer room than the Plaza. It did have a shower, a fairly nice shower. But honestly, the best place, they supposedly have a tunnel we didn't cross over or anything like it, was the Rio. The Rio was nice. It was really nice. The room was beautiful. It had a
Four
beautiful
pools.
view of the strip, which was across the street. And it had a nice big TV, it had a nice big couch, it was a big area. And we just paid $20 more to get up at the top to have a nice view and a nice room. Alex called it the penthouse. I really liked the Rio. I mean, I know it wasn't right in the strip. I know it wasn't right in the strip, but you could walk to it. But you had a view of the strip, a nice view of the strip. So that was. Okay.
Yeah, so
You're
guys.
still alive.
Yeah,
Sorry, I had a
so-
quick call.
You had a quick call.
So,
Good.
yeah, I highly recommend the Rio. It was nice. Paid the $20 more and get the view at the top. Highly recommend
I
that.
have one complaint about the, or two complaints about the There's an overall good. But the pool was pretty cold, but a lot of the pools down there cold.
Yeah,
Number two, if you get a shower at the Rio, the water flies.
The shower at the Rio was nice too. Yeah,
Well, it
I
was
really
nice,
enjoyed the
but
Rio.
water flies out of it.
yeah.
You'll flood if you're not too careful.
Okay, Alex.
Well, one thing I'd like to tell you guys is I got the picture of the Mandalay Bay. The Mandalay Bay and the Luxor are connected. You can go through an escalator, or you can take a train, or you can just walk. Basically, when you walk by, or you can take a train, or you can just walk. Basically, when you walk by the Luxor,
They're right next door to each other.
Yeah, they have a
And
connection.
so is the Excalibur.
So, Mandalay Bay, if you want to stay right by Mandalay Bay, you can pay actually to swim there if you want to. But we were right by the hotel. We never went over there. I don't know if they charge you since you're MGM or not. But a lot of the places didn't seem like they cared about the swimming. They don't make their money off swimming. They make their money off gambling and the food. Like you said, it was $30 for a burrito. And a nacho was 25 bucks with meat. If you didn't get it with meat, it was, I think, 15 by itself. So if it's steak, they don't serve ground beef here. A lot of states out this way don't, but if you want a nice location by the MGM Grand, the Luxor is pretty reasonable. Excalibur is pretty reasonable. New York can be, depending on what day you're out here. But they light it up right now if you're coming, or might be coming, or think about coming. They have fireworks on Fridays. But by far, we went to David Copperfield. That was probably the highlight. The second highlight was the Fremont experience. The thing about the Fremont experience was really cool is they don't advertise it that much. I mean, I didn't know what the crap it was. But we stayed in the plaza, which is right across from it. And it's wild. It's all night long. Bands, music. There's some dirty stuff down there. So
Yeah.
I'd be worried about taking the little kids down there. But
Oh, and by the way, Chucky stabbed me in the leg with his plastic knife.
yeah, people dress like Chucky, Elvis, bears, gorillas, all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, it's cool. I mean, put that number one on your list. I'd put that above the Strip. The Strip is hot. They actually have a cover down there at the Fremont Experience. I'd say the main thing that I didn't like about it is the smell of cannabis, but it's all over the state. This is the worst state I've ever been for it, so if it don't bother you, go on down there. But
Tell 'em about the
I'd
Taco
go
Bell.
period. I'd go period. Oh yeah, they had a Taco Bell. This was on the Strip. It was a nightclub, and the Taco Bell, you heard music and bass, boom, boom, boom. I mean, it was awesome. They had drink machines. They had Coke, beer. You had to pay for the beer, obviously. And then they had mixed drinks, which I think they were about 20, 25 bucks.
And they had a DJ
Yeah, they had a
upstairs.
DJ upstairs. It was very interesting. They do have a Mickey D's. They got two of them on the Strip. One by the Mandalay Bay. I'd say Mandalay Bay and Luxor is some of the best locations because you can walk to several restaurants within a half a mile. So it's pretty good. You can walk to the Bellagio from there. And if you want to throw down the king money, the winner of the Bellagio is supposed to be the best. But I think it's a great location. If I was going to come back here, I would probably stay near the Fremont though. I enjoyed it more. There's more live music. A lot of people probably won't tell you about the Fremont. That experience is the Golden Nugget. If you ever hear the Golden Nugget, that's where it is. And it's
Probably need to come on Friday and Saturday though.
yeah, Friday and Saturday. We left on Monday and we didn't see much over there. Of course, we're here now. And
Of course, the hotels are going to be higher on the weekends.
Mm-hmm.
Keep that in mind.
But there's some big bands that come there. Imagine Dragons. Katy Perry's going to be there. This week, we unfortunately didn't see big bands, but there were a lot of cover bands, which were really cool. July 4th, Mackenzie, somebody, I'm not familiar with country music, but she's there. They have some really good bands there. So I'm sure the prices really shoot up. I never imagined Imagine Dragons being there, but they're going to be there. Saliva, familiar with 90s rock, they were there on May the 8th. So there's a lot of different bands, big bands that come there. Shakira was here this week, but I think she was in a stadium. There's some other people coming famous. Reno probably has the best overall. They're like huge bands that come there. Like we probably saw 25 bands or some of the best bands in the world that were coming there. So if I was coming just for pure concerts, I'd fly to Reno or Carson City, not Las Vegas. They have some big entertainment. So we were there through the week on the weekend. Also, there's some comedians. There's a couple of magicians. David Copperfield dealing
They
with
got Circus
advertising.
Soleil.
Oh yeah, if you want to see a Circus Soleil, if you've never seen it, it ranges from about $50 to like.
Well, they had 3 different Circus Soleils.
Oh yeah, that's right. And they range from about 109 all the way down to 40 something.
Yeah, 3 different hotels.
But the MGM,
The Venetian one is always going to be higher.
one thing about the parking with MGM casinos, hotels, is you can go from one to one, and you can park at the other one, and that pays for your parking. Whereas other casinos will nail you like $20 for just that one casino. That is one thing good about the MGM Grand parking. Where we stayed at, we were about 20 miles away from Vegas last night. We stayed at Marriott, and they charged us $15 a night for parking there. They didn't have a deck or nothing. It was just straight parking. So when you come out here, even if you go out of town, don't expect free parking. So,
Well, they didn't even advertise it on their website.
No, they did not. They said clearly Town Park, and it had a QR when you walked out the door. So I guess they're trying to make up for other things. By the way, the Marriott, while I was out here, they did say they're building a strip hotel that's supposed to be as good, if not better than the Bellagio. So look forward to that. I don't know what hotels they own on the strip.
Oh, let me tell them about the water fountains.
Oh, yeah.
At the Bellagio, the water fountains. Now, this is just my opinion. I mean, yeah, it was a huge water fountain show. Don't get me wrong. It was big. There was a lot of people there. But I'll be honest with you. I thought the one in Pigeon Forge at the island was just as good or better. I know it's smaller, but they had more colors and, you know, I just enjoyed it more than I did the Bellagio. I really did. There was, I mean, less people, of course. You know, they got a lot of people in Pigeon Forge, but not like the Bellagio. I mean, you're just going there because it's huge. That's it. You know, because Pigeon Forge has had more color in it, I thought. I didn't see no color in the Bellagio. Did you?
No. Bellagio's cool. It looks like it's dancing though, which I thought was
Yeah,
really
it
cool.
was dancing water, but they do that at the island too in Pigeon Forge.
Yeah.
But the island has color in theirs. I didn't notice any color. They did. It must have been a different show.
No, I didn't notice any color.
So I wasn't that impressed with it.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty
But it is
cool,
free.
so,
It
yeah.
is free. That's one
Walk
thing.
by,
It's free.
yeah. Free to walk by it. We could have driven in there too, because we stayed at MGM on the strip, the Luxor and Mandalay Bay. Also, if you book a hotel and it shows a real nice view Make sure you go down there and ask them early because you don't necessarily get it. I had to pay $20 for the one hotel for a view. The Luxor just gave it to me. And the Golden Nugget up in Rio, they call
Yeah,
it
but the
Nugget.
Rio was nice.
Yeah.
That room was nice.
Oh yeah, it was. Luxor, they said we don't sell views, but he moved me a little bit so I could see the strip.
Well, they have different classes for different people at the Luxor.
Yeah.
You know, they had silver, they had gold, they had, I think it was 5 different classes. I didn't care for that.
Sapphire.
Sapphire. And I guess it depends on, you know, what kind of club member you are.
Well, yeah.
I felt like I was on the Titanic Hotel, 3rd class.
You guys, we got to get off here. My battery just went on to 5, so I can't even turn it on right now, so it's about to kick off. Have a good day and look forward to our videos. And subscribe, like, and I always keep on those adventures. Take care.